Welcome, welcome. So where is the mic? Any question about your journey, about the subjects?
I don't know where to start. Suddenly.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. I have I had an experience which I saw that I don't have to be somebody to function or and it was very very clear to me. And suddenly I get taken by guiltiness and also a thought like this is the split second, and it's really it has to work like this split second, otherwise it cannot work because it's not a slowly getting progress. So it showed me that all this what I did since today. All this which I did, it was a part of the negation for me. And there are more things here today for me because I cannot. I would like to really focus with you on my personal existence. If I have any eye, or because I would like to see 100% the mind, because
This is the mic.
yeah. So,
To focus, to know more.
yes.
What else than the mind it is?
Yes, and I would like to say one more
What do you want more?
because there is such a wonder on this enlightenment or this everything what I am doing, and
This is the mind.
and I don't understand anything.
This is the mind.
and then how come I how come how come I believe all in this, or I believe in anything? How come? I don't know.
Because you
Well,
are with your mind. You listen to your mind.
What I was doing and what I am doing now. and
So, all this is the mind. What's left? What is it working? Yeah. What's left?
I would like to be like you, Ganga.
That will be hard. At the same time, it's a luck you're not like me. Keep as you are. It's very nice. No, you would like not to be so busy by the fantasies of the mind. Yes. So it's not like me. You don't want to... But all what you express is the mind. Do you see that?
Yes, I
And
see
so
that.
I say to you, what's left when you don't express, or when you are not trying to necessarily express? Where are you left? You see, suddenly you don't speak because the mind cannot figure it out, the mind cannot go there. So all this search with all these particular fantasies, it's just to be here, where you always are, that you pick up your mind or not. What more do you want? The mind, you see, has this nature to always want something. So it will always be something beyond. You reach here, there, congratulations. Yet there is something beyond, or prior. You know, it can't stay simply quiet nowhere, in no time. So don't be deluded by the mind. It will do its things, it will still appear, very personally for everyone. But I'm not going to search now, because I know all this is the mind. I am always myself, whatever it means. At least it means that you are not bothered to search anymore. Huh? Next, something next. Yes, please.
What was very important for me yesterday was to look at the movie.
Yes.
So when I was at home on my own, I was looking at from observer position to what's happening in my thoughts and what, and it was kind of amusement. It's funny, especially when I was upset. I could see the mind working, but slowly I was going into it again.
It goes where?
My focus from.
But you have not to focus, listen. Because you see, when you focus, it means you imagine at some point, if you don't focus, you're not yourself. You have not to focus, it's because one focuses somewhere that is lost. What is self-realization? It is to finally, and here I have no word to say, let's say realized, to finally realize that I was always all right. I was always that, regardless of the state of my mind. And it doesn't depend on the focus of somebody. Imagine that to realize something which still depends on the mind. It's only the mind then. The result of your focus can be only mindful. So, try to see that rather. Oh, I have this habit, I believed I have to focus. So now I hear this. So focus bullshit. Where are you left? Just before you catch next. Where are you left?
Yeah.
Yeah. If here doesn't mean a place, wonderful. That's why we did all those years generally. We did all that to finally not be tyrannized by the mind. Because it's the mind which searches. Not what is left, not what is or is not, who knows what it is. So don't focus. And in not focusing, don't think that then it will be a non-focus something that I am. Non-focusing is another experience coming from focus. So just see that all this is the play of the mind. Otherwise you would think that the disappearance or the absence of what you thought real, that is real now. No. Just see that all this depends on each other. Absence, disappearance, because I believed it was appearing or whatever. You see? So don't be enslaved to the mind. Don't catch a belief of the mind. The mind can only believe like this. It cannot exist. It can only exist like this. Or it catches the appearance, or it catches the disappearance. And generally, all the spiritual world catches the disappearance as real. No. All this is the mind. And I never lost myself. I was always myself. And the mind here, one doesn't even want to go and see through the mind. He knows the trick now. It's quite about it. In that way, finally, you have not to make any effort. An effort brings you always to some direction. Always. So, what you said, that was a nice movie, including the one who was amused. He was in it.
Thank you.
Hi.
I understand what you point, but at the same time, I see it's like also energetic phenomenon. Sometimes I identify it with mind play, sometimes not. But I cannot stop not to search because I can't stop moving. And I don't want to stop moving. At the same time, it's only just to say myself, don't identify it with thoughts, it doesn't help. So,
if you like moving, know that it is whatever appeared which likes moving. No problem with that. The body is born, he moves up to the death. It's natural to the body and the mind. Now, if you search into that movement of appearance, you will find a few things temporarily. You will enjoy them or not. It will always be temporary because it is in between birth and death. And if you want to find what is not temporary, without telling that it's permanent, but if you want to realize what is not temporary, so what is my real nature, what is meant by you are that, then don't take birth. Don't start. You can start, but then you have to know it belongs to whatever appears. But if you want to realize that for a moment, don't be hypnotized by the movement. So it depends of what you want. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like it's always like I remind myself, don't take this, don't take this, don't take this. It also looks like a job.
It is a job, yeah. But you see, if it's new, if it is it possible? If it is, no, it's gone. There is maybe the power is gone?
No,
The power, no. What I wanted to say, where we were.
Thinking about like a job, it's just don't remind myself, don't take mine.
it is a job.
No, the joke, not the joke.
Job.
Job. Oh yeah, the job. The job is a joke. Yeah. It depends. If this search is new to you, I ask. It's new?
No.
It's old search. So I think to negate it's to leave some space in the mind to at least have a space to hear. Maybe you are not all what you think you are. Okay? Once this is heard, maybe you have not to negate anything. You just have to realize that. So the job would be not to have a job, to retire from jobs, because you are already that. You have to trust fully this. You cannot before it happens, so I don't know here how it happens, but you have to simply want very much intensely to realize what the wise say. Not to become a wise, but because it is your birthright, it is what you want to know this life. So if you work still with the mind, it will not work, because any result of the mind is mindful. Now, if you don't touch for a split second, I repeat the words of my master, for a split second, if you don't touch the negation which brings you, let's say, noise. If I experience noise, it's not it. If I experience silence, it's not it. And you give a split second of not touching any movement, what happens to you? What's there? What is it?
Just like a space.
Yeah, and space is a very bad, limited translation of the mind. You agree? But I ask you a question, so okay. So even space, it's not it. What you would say now then?
Actually, I don't know what is it. It's more like
Okay,
close to the
even
silence.
I don't know, it's not it. So,
The more close word is silence.
hmm?
The more closed word to describe is silence.
No. I would not say so. We cannot figure it out. Silence is experienced. It's not an experience. It doesn't belong to an experiencer. So one finally quits, keeps quiet in its own self, whatever it is. knowing that all the rest is really the play of the mind, of the expression of what is and what is not. I don't know, I prefer not to name it. But do you see that? Nice? So, don't be obliged to follow your mind.
Thank you.
Yeah. Eh?
So, when it's clear that it cannot be figured out and it cannot be experienced,
Yeah.
and there is no stories running around in the mind,
Even if story goes on, you don't care, it's the mind.
yeah. But if the split second is not happening right now, I understand I must still be landing somewhere.
Then forget about the split second. Forget what happens.
Nothing.
Forget what you all have heard so far from just now. Where do you land then? Where do you land?
I don't know. I don't see where I
Don't
am.
even land on I don't know. There is nothing to see. Otherwise you are not it again. Again you make it an experience. Hmm?
What about the idea of vigilance?
No, you forget it. I told you, forget what you heard about the subject. You see, all those pointing out vigilance and all that, it may mean something at a certain point for somebody at a very certain point, because there is no teaching. It just comes differently for everyone. But in fact, the truth is that you are already that. So have you to be vigilant about it? Since you cannot figure it out, to be vigilant what? To keep an image of it? To fit a concept of it? No.
I find myself landing on all kinds of superficial.
But you know that you land, you know that this is your mind.
I land on the books that I'm reading or the screen of my phone and like in life. Like,
Yeah, but you know it is the mind. Or no, it is the mind. And the mind remains the mind, it remains dual.
so it's not a problem.
It is not a problem. It will quit you when you die anyway. You cannot fix the mind. And those who try to transform the mind, they are more or less, very, 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 very often less successful. Because there is always a corner where it will be its opposite showing up. You can don't waste your time in working on the mind. Just know, that's the mind. It's what appears where this person is. Because of this person, this is there. You see? You are that which can know this, which can see that. So that's always there. That you see it or not. That you are identified or not, it's always there.
The perceiver that cannot be perceived.
Never. Open it.
I was reading something of what Karl Renz said. If you want, I can read a short quote where he was speaking about this.
But first of all, Karl Renz is unbeatable. So let me enjoy what he said.
I will read. Okay. Look where this I thought comes
Attends,
from.
what?
No.
Huh? What? Beginning. I didn't.
Look where this I thought comes from. That's the main thing.
Look, what?
Look where.
Look where. Oh, sorry. Yeah, look where.
That's the main thing, the direct path. And that is the I thought, the spider which is spinning all the time. And then look if the spider is what you are. Look if that what is spinning as the creator of what is creation is what you are.
You
Or if
understand all that? You understand all that? It's correct. But you don't need to understand more than what I told you. It's to say exactly the same thing. But your trick to escape what I told you is to go to a better reference, which is better. In words. Not from where it comes from. We have the same coming from. I am not beating anybody with words. It's to tell you the same thing. But you escape. This one said, is it a fitting? Is it the same?
Yeah, I'm not looking for a...
No, but you know, the mind. Instead of having just kept where you always are, you went again to your mind. This is the trouble. You see? This is the trouble because you don't see that it is the mind. If you see it is the mind, you will not give that much importance. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now, where are you left? If you don't catch any labeling as confusion or as clarity, where are you left?
Here, nowhere. All the words are like
Okay,
labels.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So don't catch even that, even though you could tell them. Don't catch them like that. To be able to see that everything otherwise is the mind. All what is expressed is the mind. And there is nothing wrong in the expression. So don't try to be disidentified, don't try to remind, don't try those things. It's all the mind. I forget, I remind myself, I'm identified. Oh, I am disidentified. Oh, that is the play of the mind. So let it appear as it appears. But but no, it's the mind. That's all. And when all this goes, appears or not, it's the same. What is left is exactly the same and untouched. Untouched. The screen, as said Ramana, is not wet because in the movie it rains. Huh? And yet you only see the rain when it shows up, but you know very well that the screen is not wet. That it appears probably because of that I will never know. As a person, I will never know it. Yeah.
But as the screen, somehow there is this
But you know it. The thing is that you place always yourself in the movie to peep in the screen. No, you are the screen. You are the screen. And then sometimes, very often, of course, during the day, the movie appears and disappears. There is not an experience as to realize. This is enough. But you see, one gives power to his mind, so untrusts a bit and then goes back to the mind to search something beyond, which looks like a realization experience, even though it's a non-experience. So a realization, no experience. That's what the mind wants now. Not to have an experience. Just don't take yourself for the movie. Only in the movie there are experiencer and experiences. Only in the movie. And not to have an experience will not be experienced. You are it.
So it's better to forget about the enlightenment or self-realization.
And forget about ignorance also.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Ganga.
Hi.
Please, can you please speak of love?
I cannot. I am handicapped. Love expresses itself. One doesn't need to speak about it. And love has not it has all shapes, you see. It has all shapes. No, I'm not a specialist in describing what is love.
May I ask you, is it that?
You see, if you say yes, you will be satisfied, but then what?
Why would not be satisfied?
Because you can say love, you can say it's not even love, you can say it's peace, it's not even peace. We cannot describe. That is not describable. No, I don't mind if you say God, dog, love. What is the contrary of love? I don't know. You see, why to describe? Because it's very cunning. If you say a word, I tell you, you are tyrannized by the concept. And a concept has a certain shape and limits. So love that, drop that beloved one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Ganga.
Hi.
When I do self-inquiry,
Yeah.
I can clearly see the workings of the mind.
Yeah.
Somehow I always end up in a space where there's still something, I can almost describe it as a shape.
And why you went out there?
Sorry?
Why you enter there? Why you allow yourself to enter there?
I'm not sure. It seems to happen. And
Yeah, but why you allow yourself to enter into any happening? Self-inquiry, you see, is exactly not to enter into any experience whatsoever. Otherwise, you just, you go on an autoroute and suddenly there is a beautiful lane, you go there, but then you leave. You leave the direct self-inquiry to enjoy or to taste something which is the mind.
I can see that it is the mind.
Okay. Then what do you need? Why do you go there then if you see it's the mind?
I don't know.
Maybe you didn't hear well or enough. That for once, at least make it once. Once is enough. Don't enter in the mind. Even when there is an experience of no mind, don't enter into the mind. Let it be in the shape of no mind. That's self-inquiry. Once is enough, then. Okay, good luck. Yeah.
Is satsang part of the movie?
Yes. But only in satsang it looks one speaks, this is a movie. Only in satsang it is said it's a movie. Yeah. It will again. Attends, just a second. It will again. Over flooded. Oops. Thank you.
It seems it's very difficult for me to formulate a question, but I just want to share where I am at the moment.
Yeah.
It seems that it's a complete helplessness, and I don't even know if I know anything, and I don't even know if I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
It's like completely not knowing anything,
It's perfect if you were not making a problem out of it.
Okay.
I don't know also. I don't know. But for some reason I'm so relieved and happy not to know. Because I know if you know anything, even if you land on not knowing as you do just now, it's the mind.
Because there was an expectation that these years of searching brought me here now.
There is
there is an expectation that I'm here right now in this location with you.
It's cool, true, but maybe to hear what I tell you, that is the expectation. But you may not like it because you wanted something else. You expect something great in the mind, you see. Of course. You come for something. Nobody takes a plane to come here and, to be at the most noisy place in the planet and all that. There's something you wanted to hear. But when it comes, the mind has at least some hope of something else. And that doesn't fit. The answer doesn't fit.
Because I also hear that you have to drop the seeker and the search. And I'm thinking about this.
Yeah, but
exactly
it is dropped this way. Don't make a drama of not knowing. Then, is there anybody left? Do you think that anybody could be alive if he cannot know and not know? Tell me now.
I don't know.
Why you didn't take what I tell you?
I don't know if it got here. I don't know if it got to me, what you said. I don't know if it came across.
No, it didn't. Otherwise you would not react this way. Because you see, one is attached to a certain kind of enlightenment, I tell you, which is reinforced by many, many. And for the mind, what a reward, what an heroic thing to fulfill that. But you see, what's really meant by enlightenment or just know yourself or be as you are is exactly to live, to understand that all these are a fantasy of the mind. So to leave the mind as it is, who cares? But at least I'm no more deluded by it. I'm no more deluded. I have that authority, whatever, from wherever it comes. I don't look, I don't want to look, I don't care, but at least I know that. So that authority, you see, of course, you have to put aside all your expectations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Very quick question. It's now listening to you came to my mind. Do you have bad times with your mind?
Oh,
At
sure,
all?
sure. Temporary.
Come by, yeah. Come and go.
Sure. I don't feed them, as I don't feed the good moments. They come and go.
Hello, Ganga.
Hi.
For me, it's also a little bit difficult how to find the words, but I try.
Yeah, sure.
Somehow there is this realization I'm dead. It's very clear seen.
It is sin, then it's not it.
No.
Okay, you don't mean sin.
No, I don't mean seen, but I find, and that's my question maybe, it's not speaking, it's just here, but if I try to speak with somebody or just the mind comes in and then I see myself speaking as the mind. And I find myself speaking as the mind, but it is seen, and so it's not that I can say I'm not expecting anything anymore or searching anything anymore. But still, this
You would like what? Not that the mind doesn't exist?
No, it's not that I don't want to exist, but I don't know. Maybe somebody pointed me to you're somehow separated in your speaking and what you're saying and what you say you are, and I think somehow, yeah, that's not possible. I'm just, yeah, I'm that what not speaks, but speaking is difficult, and then the mind sometimes comes in, and I cannot say I really bother, but there is like a little question, why is that still happening?
If it was not happening, this world would not appear anymore.
Okay.
I think forget about being split and this and that. What's the problem? The problem may be that you don't know who you are. Because it looks you have an idea of what I am. A kind of experience, I know who I am that.
Yes. Yeah.
But that is the problem.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the difficulty, and maybe my mind is, I don't know, I don't think so, but I cannot say.
But from where this doubt comes?
Yes, and that's
why you give so much power to this fellow who has a mind.
Yes.
Because the mind appears and disappears, but if you give so much power, then you work only with your mind.
Yeah.
You never knew who you are. Once you know who you are, you see, once you have seen, you know that example of the rope and the snake. Once you have seen that the rope was not a snake, even if you still see a snake, you know it's a rope.
Yes.
So there will be no question. You will not ask again, oh, is it what is it? It's a snake, a rope? No, you know it's even if you see a snake.
Yes. And somehow
like that.
Yes, I see. And,
okay.
And yes, I know exactly what you speak
so
about.
You don't need to have a question.
No, okay. Yes. At the end, that's the answer. I know. Yes.
Having no question is also not really it, huh? You know that too. Because there is always also somebody having no question. Because of course, once you have known all about Advaita, you have no question anymore. But still, there is a sneaky search.
Yes.
Because you think that the absence of question or the disappearance of something is real, more real than the appearance. And it's not true. They are attached. You don't speak of absence if you don't have the concept taken for real, guaranteed of presence, and vice versa. So always enslaved to the mind. Okay? Anything? Yeah.
Hi. I hear you again and again say that all is the mind and just see that. And I wanted to share with you something that it's in my mind, but it's something that I don't know if it's important or not, but I am reading and I hear it about the dream, about this dream.
Yeah.
And for me it's difficult to understand, and I really don't know if I have to understand. That's why I want to ask you.
Yeah. I think you cannot understand or see what they mean by that before you leave your mind alone. It's of no use to try to experience what is said. You have to try to be freed from the tyranny of the mind. And then all this, you may express this way, you may express differently, it will be all fine. There will be no question then, what does it mean? You know? It's better, you see, you have to go directly to the reality. Otherwise, how the mind can understand? It's a dream. He may have an experience of it, but it will be very temporary. After it will be in the memory and fade away, and then again searching for the same. So, who speaks of the dream?
I.
And where is I? It appears.
It appears, yeah.
Otherwise I would not be able to speak of that, to express that. So you are from where you can express that. You always have been. Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
You just said that satsang is also in the movie. It's
Satsang is also
in the movie.
Yeah.
In the film.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is a part of the movie where it is said how the movie is made and maintained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
and
said.
I have a feeling that me being a character of the movie,
Yeah.
who wants to jump out of the movie, which is basically impossible.
Yeah, but you see, if you see it's a movie, you are already out.
Yes, I see
That's
that
it?
it is the movie, but what?
Why but? But is in the movie.
Yeah,
But is in the movie.
Yeah. It's not a problem to be in the movie and to see myself in the movie. The problem appears when the character of the movie doesn't want to play this game.
But that's in the movie.
Agree with the
there
movie,
is always some actors doing something wrong, you know.
Yes.
No problem, it's a movie. No problem. Good hands, bad hands, it's a movie. But be contented to see where you can see and tell it's a movie. Be contented there. It's enough.
Yeah. As for me, what happens, taking the general movie, what is happening in the global picture is okay, but how this particular character of the movie is interpreting his own behavior.
Yeah, but that's in the movie. That's the bad guy in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter, we need bad to appreciate the good one.
The one who is always disagree with how it is going on.
Doesn't matter.
It creates suffering.
It creates suffering when you don't see it's a movie. But if you know it's a movie, the person may suffer a bit in the emotional heart, in his mind because he wants something else, or in his body. But it was in the movie, it is in the movie. But you have seen, it's too late. You have seen it's a movie. And you know suffering is only in the movie. So just be contented from where you see that.
It seems to be so real, not in the movie. The suffering of the others is in the movie, but my own suffering is not. You know.
What a funny movie. But we need to make a good movie, we need those spells.
It is real movie. It's like played in this actual time. Huh? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, in the movie you saw, it's part of the scenario to want to go out of the movie, you know. But it's because we believe that we fixed ourselves in the movie. And what it is said, you are that, means nothing to do with the movie. You are that, you see. It means where you don't fix yourself anywhere. So you don't need to go in or out of something. And you are always that. You are even that before you search for it, before you hear from it.
It's like there is a script written specially for the general movie for this character, and the character is playing exactly according to the script. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, good accent.
At the same time, sometimes there is so strong resistance to play according to the script.
Yeah, but it is inscribed too in the script.
Yeah, so it's what I see now. That this desire to escape the script, to jump out of the movie, and everything also is in the script itself.
Yeah.
So it's like the bad guy who wants always not to play
do something else,
script, but to
it makes the movie great at least.
Creates a very, very difficult to play in the movie, you know.
But that's a particular character of the movie. Yes. No more? You quit? Which direction you took when you quit? You give him, please. Attends, wait. Yeah, the one I see still in the movie, sure. Me too. I'm in the movie.
Is that okay for you?
I have no rubber to make me disappear, you know.
Would you like to?
Huh?
Would you like to have one?
I don't care. It will come enough early. Who?
Just
You, sorry.
just no, it doesn't work.
One?
Yeah.
Do you avoid something? Do you
Sorry?
avoid
I
anything?
am what?
Avoid?
Avoid.
Avoid?
Avoid.
Wait.
Like
Wait for it. Avoid.
avoid. Avoid.
Avoid. Avoid. Avoid.
No, come on.
She says, do you avoid everything?
Avoid?
Anything.
How can we avoid anything in the movie? Even if you want, so it's part of the movie, and you can't. No, it's not about that. You see,
Like
we are,
there is anything what you don't like and you avoid it, like there's some
or
part
even if
of
I
it.
try, if it is not meant to be, I cannot avoid it. No. The most important is try to see at least that all what we speak about, it's the mind. Is the world of the appearance. And if I can see that, I am not it. I must be something else, even though this is included in it.
But it seems like there, even from discovery of that, it's also the mind. Like even when I
It
see
means
that
it
mind,
means in the movie there are also some enlightened ones, but it's a state. It exists also, the state, but it never lasts. Suddenly, in the corner of the road, boom, it's gone. Then you have still to search. So go for the real thing. And the real thing is beyond the concept of real and unreal. Means you know that the mind cannot figure it out. And that's what you are. And so you know very well that it can never be figured out, otherwise it becomes an expression. And an expression is the movie or the dream. Yeah?
it is like a labyrinth where there is no way to go.
No, it's not a labyrinth because you are always out of it in the sense that you are the movie, but you are also not the movie. There is no labyrinth.
I can feel it like a sense, but still sense it's
Too much. A sense too much. A sense too much because I has a sense. I. So, if you know that I has a sense, and I still looks real because he has a sense, so try to remain I alone without sense. What happens? That's all. All the rest is an appearance is the mind, an appearance, an expression of that.
It's like nothing to touch. Nothing to touch.
Oh, the senses will touch. Senses touch. But it is untouchable. What more do you want? That's wiser. Enough? Or something you want?
I'd like to go for the real thing. And I hear you saying, oh, this is all the mind. I feel very frustrated.
Yeah, the mind is frustrated, sure,
Yes.
because the mind thinks is not in the real thing, and by blessing, that's what he feels, by great luck, he wants to go for, finally, for the real thing.
Yeah.
But it is still the play of the mind. So now, for the real thing, just know that and don't go anywhere.
But
Don't
what
play
is the
with your
proof?
mind.
What is the proof? How can I know that is the real thing or that is that?
I mean, what I say or when it happens to you.
How can I be content?
No, tell me, so that I can reply. What you say, you apply about what I tell you, or when it happens, how I will know? What do you mean? No. What?
I'm lost.
You are lost?
Yes.
But where can one be lost? In the mind only. Only in the mind.
I would like to know more. What is the real thing?
What is?
What is the real?
But you will not know. You will realize it when you know that all the gains, all the loss, all this idea of unreal, all this is the mind. Then finally, when you hear that, you keep quiet in yourself, as you always have been. In fact, you never left yourself. It was absolutely a great movie to think that one day, when you were a seeker, you were not yourself. It's the mind who plays. Which plays?
So if I want to go to the place not in the mind, I mean there must be
You
the
are
mind
never in
and
your
there is
mind.
not the
Listen,
mind.
you are never in the mind. Only because you believe you are in the mind, you speak like that. You are never in the mind. It's a belief. And because of that belief, one wants to go out of the mind.
I try to take it in, yes.
Because you like the mind. You're afraid. Otherwise, it's very easy to take it at once. It's very simple. And the fear is the mind. Huh?
I will not be sure.
You will not be sure like this because now you trust your mind. How can you trust your mind? want? No. Yeah. You cannot trust your mind. Because the mind itself said, I am ignorant. No, I want to be knowledgeable or at least devotional enough to be realized to my own true self. This is a story of the mind. Actually, you are, while it is going on, you are yourself. Quietly yourself. Yes.
Although the mind is, as you have said, unreliable, untrustworthy, and it's only the mind.
Yeah. It's okay, not just near.
Sorry.
Yeah.
However, it is the mind, as I see it, that makes decisions, important decisions that you sometimes have to make about family, about illness, about your future. If the mind is unreliable, untrustworthy, and one is trying, in one sense, to lose it, how do you reconcile this with the needing to be, or striving to be aware and know who I am? How do you reconcile that the mind is what we use for most of the decisions in our life?
But there is nothing to reconcile. It is just that you have not to confuse yourself with the mind, that's all. And then you will see which power do you have yourself in the mind. I don't think that one takes decisions as he thinks it does. It happens or not.
But what is the... what is the...
Like this.
Like that?
Yeah.
I'm not of the technical age. Sorry. I've forgotten what I was going to say now. It's gone. Apologies.
Must be the power of the mic.
Power of the mic or power of the mind? I'm not sure. Are not decisions that one makes made by the mind? I understand that up to a point it is predetermined that you have a path that you will go to, but you do make individual decisions that are important in life.
Yeah, what is the problem? What is the problem?
What is the problem? Well, you want to make the right decisions.
You always make mistake. Sometimes not, and sometimes yes. No? You don't have that experience? I have it.
Of course I do. Of course I do. Yes.
Everybody has.
Yes.
Except if somebody says the contrary. No? Nobody? That's why one searches, no? Oh, I make mistake, I always make mistake, I suffer, I'm bloody one, I would like so much to be different, and so on. Suddenly, somebody says, all that is because you don't know who you really are. Oh, wow, really? Interesting. And then you try to hear about that.
Are you saying that if you do know who you really are,
you still make mistake?
That's a pity.
I know! Very much a pity.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
So last time I saw you, you said visit the self more, and now you...
Is it the self?
More.
More?
Yeah, more often.
Visit.
Visit.
Ah. Okay, today what it is.
But now, what I want to share with you is that maybe I confuse the disappearance with visiting the self.
Very good. Very true.
Yes.
That's it. You know it now. Will you make the same mistake when it appears? When it disappears?
No.
No. No, that's all. No, I will not. I learn my lesson.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello?
Well,
So, can we say that that or whatever we want to do,
yeah.
it is not in the mind?
It is not in the mind.
Correct. So, so we can also say that everything is the mind, except that. Can we do that?
Yes, but you see, the mind lost its. It's an expression.
Yeah.
It's an
But
expression.
it's everything. Everything
But
else
so
is
there
the
is
mind.
not two things. You see, the mind. Then the mind is not something different. There is nothing like two things. That which is not in the mind, and then still the mind appears. So it looks like two things. It's not. So that is not understandable.
Well, I'm trying to put it together because the feeling that I have in this moment is that of an invitation to die.
Yeah, but because you have a feeling, why do you keep that feeling? Any feeling is not it, it's the mind.
Yeah, correct. So then, how if everything is the mind?
Yeah.
Then
you keep quiet, huh?
Yeah, it's almost like you will say that it's like dying.
But
quiet is like some sort of death.
you could very well say it's like finally living. I mean, you know, any concept will trouble you.
Yeah.
If you say dying, oh, there is an image and an experience about it, you cannot come out of that. And if it is aliveness, so you have always to be happy and alive and whatnot. It doesn't fit any feeling, any idea. So don't keep any. And even if it comes, don't reject it, but let it pass.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you.